Borada, morning. Still in bed. That was quite a night. It was blowing a storm all night, absolutely whipping through. Part of my tarp came off in the night. I had to get up and secure that, but the rest of it seems okay. And I'm dry, I'm warm, sun is up, it's not raining. I've got coffee on the brew, so I'm going to get that done, get some breakfast, and then get back on the road. I think it's going to be a windy one. Now we just got to turn all of this into that, and we're ready to go. Farmer warned me there were cattle in the field, but they did come over to have a look. They're always inquisitive, but they didn't come any closer or start messing around with my gear. I'm not worried about cows. Anyway, lovely blue skies, and we're out. It's a nice little bicyclist toolkit and pump. Don't need a pump actually, tyres are good. Not running tubeless, you'd be surprised to hear, for several reasons. Maybe I'll go into that later. But for now, past the cross foxes, didn't go in for a pint, and back to the Traws Eryri. Day 3 of my tour, day 2 of the Traws. Second day should be similar to the first, maybe a bit more climbing, but about 100k and 2,500 meters of climbing, something like that. We've got to get back to the route now. We're a couple of kilometers off it because we stayed in the village. Conditions are cool. It is the middle of August and it's about 10 degrees this morning. But it's dry. It is windy, but it's not like it was in the night. It was blowing a hoolie in the night, all night. Fitful sleep, woke up at 5, my sort of time I woke up yesterday, but it was just raining a little bit, so I went back to sleep. The wind had dropped by then and got a decent hour and a half. So I feel okay. However, day 3 is always when things start to feel a little bit sore and stiff. Gonna have to work it out for the first few kilometers. Follow the river over the old stone bridge. Looks like it's only used by cyclists and pedestrians nowadays. I think it's going to be a bit muddy in the woods, especially after that rain yesterday. Ooh, there it is. Okay, let's negotiate this muddy stretch. Feet are still wet from yesterday, and kit is pretty dirty. Nice view from up here, back over the lake. Rhinog in the distance, in the clouds, and the nuclear station just there. Look where you're going. Oh, let's climb up the gate to get that. We're going this way, up into the hills. Ooh. Forecast is, well, it said it was going to be really windy again today, like it was last night, but it's not. It's breezy out, but it's okay. It is cool, too cool for me, but it's okay. I have got a warmer jacket as well, I can put that on. Some would say, you know, it's ideal cycling weather, but I prefer to be warm. And especially for camping out, I'd rather just be lazing around in my shorts, not trying to keep warm in my sleeping bag. 25 to 30 degrees would suit me. You know, above that, 30 to 35, yeah, so I can ride in that as well. Above 35 and it starts getting a little bit testing. Chances of a couple of showers, but I don't think anything major. And it's clear out, which is fantastic because the views are going to be good. Well, the views are already good. We're in slate country, slate mining country. Wales, one of the big industries of Wales, probably wool, coal and slate, and around here is slate country. And what a nice thing they used to do here, rather than making dry stone walls, which take a lot of work, they would just use bits of slate, and probably in the old days just using some sort of rope, but now with wire. And you can see they make whole fences snaking up to this farm just from slate. Nice little bit of local history. Bryn Melyn, the mill on the hill. Had I looked at the weather forecast a little bit more closely and seen there was a massive storm incoming, I probably wouldn't have come. But I'm glad I did, because I planned for it. Well, I planned for rain, I didn't plan for a storm like that. And, you know, after storms is normally nice weather, so it's turned out good so far. Let's see how it progresses. I'm going to beg your indulgence here while I do one of those really annoying YouTubey things and ask myself a question and then answer it from a different aspect. One time only, I promise. So, Kieran, what's it like camping out in a hammock through a storm? No shower, no hot water, get up, wet shoes, filthy kit, and go riding 100 kilometers through the mountains. One word answer. Excellent. We're on very familiar roads. Just been over Ysbyty Van Moors, and now we're going to descend Cwm Penmachno and then into Penmachno mountain bike trail centre, and that will bring us round to Betws Acoed, which is, if you've ever been to Snowdonia, Eryri, it's a very familiar little town, and there should be about halfway and lunchtime. But for now, a bit of descending. Welcome to Penmachno mountain bike trail. It's a little map of the trails here. I've done them before, very excellent trails, sort of real cross-country trails, but very wet, and I suspect after last night's rain it's going to be very wet. Anyway, there's a nice bench, going to have a bit of cake, have my banana, and that should see me through till lunch. Through Penmachno forest. We're not on the mountain bike trail, so we're avoiding the worst of the wet stuff, but the actual trails are, even in a long dry summer, and they do exist in Wales, it's still they say you need a snorkel. Well, no snorkels today, still chilly, but I've taken my raincoat off, although we're up at altitude now, so I'm feeling it. I'm opening it back on for the descent, and then all the way down through the forest. And then I think we've got to take a little detour from what I was reading online, but we'll cross that bridge, quite literally, when we get to it. Well, we're supposed to be going through that, over the bridge, but they're rebuilding it. So I've been told we can go through Timawr, National Trust property. Timawr, the big house in English. It says Conwy, pedestrians, can I get the gate open? So I'm going to walk through it. I hope they let me. Little bridge. And this way. A little bit of single track through the woods. I'd say for a less confident rider, this may be the first bit where a mountain bike would have helped actually, but I think I can get down it on the gravel bike slowly. You know, on a mountain bike you just sort of send this, but I haven't got the tyre width for that sort of shenanigans or suspension. It is a bit bumpy. But very nice. Little dab there, foot down, and continues down to the road. More single track, more doable on the gravel bike, but this, I think, is the first. Yeah, I don't think I'm getting down there on a gravel bike without bigger tyres and a dropper post, so judiciously walking down, and even that isn't straightforward. I imagine a lot of people walk this. Yeah, down, and then it's Let me go under the railway bridge. Great. A bit rocky, but get back on board. And into a little climb. Through the gate first. Over a mountain stream, river, in full spate. After all the rain yesterday. There we go. I think onto the final climb before lunch. Not too long, kilometre or so, fairly steep, but should be fine. And finally, into Coed, the heart of Eryri. That last section was tough, man. Whew. A lot of climbing, nice stuff, but it took forever to get here from Magna. Anyway, food beckons, we're about halfway through. I've already cooked. It's going to be a long afternoon, I think, but I think some food will revive me. Nice little spot for lunch by the river. Coed, breakfast in the wood, bead house, like the chapel in the wood. Got a can of Coke, got a ham salad sandwich, some crisps, and a cake, and that's going to have to see me through. And then I'd say we've got another 4 hours riding. After a massive intake of sugar, now riding through the woods. Very nice, sun's out. Still cool though, the air's really cold. You can really hear the river down there. This will bring us up to Capel Cerrig, and then a very familiar stretch through the Ogwen Valley and Nanfrancon, which is possibly one of the prettiest stretches of the whole route, I think. But that we've got to look forward to, and a bit more climbing. I'm riding into what feels like a polar headwind, despite the fact the sun's out. It's very chilly. It is, however, very clear, so we've got a lovely view of Traban to the left, Rocky 1, and Ole went to the right. We're going to go right down the middle, and then at some point we're going to turn to the north and get out of this wind. Hoorah! Thought I'd better stop for this waterfall. Quite impressive. I saw it the other day, it didn't look like this, but after the storm yesterday. Oh, lovely. Spoil heaps from the old slate mines, not worked anymore. I believe the miners used to walk in from Innismon from Anglesey probably on a Sunday afternoon, a long old walk, and then walk back at the end of the week. I think the end of the week was probably Saturday or Friday, or maybe Saturday afternoon they walked home, stayed there for 24 hours and then walked back again. That was a tough old life. Village of Bethesda, village town, somewhere in between the two, right alongside the A5, heading for, if you were going to cross to Anglesey, you'd be going this way up and taking the bridge over, or heading for Bangor. Finally, we've got to the coast. Be following this for a bit now. I'm not sure if we'll be able to see the sea the whole way, but we're now sort of heading north up the northwest corner of Gogledd, Cymru, North Wales. Cycle path along the highway. A55, I think. Nasty busy road, wouldn't want to ride on that, but this is great. I think I rode this a couple of years ago and it wasn't like this, so I think they've improved it or finished it, but it'll take us up into the hills at some point. Not far to go now. Last 11k. Afternoon has definitely been a bit easier than the morning, thankfully. But there's always a sting in the tail, and this is it. Final climb of the day. Complete killer. Famous for its wild horses up here. It's a little family. Youngins. It's quite hard work. I had to get over a stile, which was not easy with a loaded bike. And this area can be boggy because I've ridden it before, but I don't think it's as boggy as the Bog of Doom, so a little bit out of my way, but not a lot. Still got times, 5:20 now, got another 7k to go, so no problem. It's light for hours yet. Final descent now, that's it. I can see a big rainstorm coming in while I was at the top there of the Sickland Pass, so I'm gunning it down into Conwy. Looks brighter over this way, so maybe the rain won't come here, or if it does, hopefully I'll be somewhere sheltered. That's the theory. I think it could be fish and chips again tonight. The old castle gates of Conwy. Now I'm going to go and look at a little park that I saw online on Google Maps and see if there's a place to stay. The rain, it is a-coming. Well, not only bike tools, but an e-bike charging station. Whatever next? Well, we're pretty much at the end of the Traws Eryri. We've done it. Now, it is a bit of a public park, this, but we may find a quiet little corner we can put our hammock up in. Maybe if we wait till later. But I'll see if I scout something out now. Looks like that rainstorm's not going to hit us. Into Conwy. Oh, I see a chip shop just here. Perfect. See if they give me some water as well, and then I'm sorted. Go and eat them in the park, and then find my bed. Well, that was a long day. Nearly 110 kilometres, 2,600 metres of climbing. But I got my fish and chips. The sun's out. It's a bit cool, but it's nice even at this time of the evening. So I'm going to eat this and then sit around for a while, and then I'll go and set up as the sun is setting and sleep quietly and peacefully in the park. And then tomorrow, pretty easy day, just riding home on the roads, about 80k. So we'll see how we feel in the morning. Day 4, final day. Up early, slept well, didn't put the top up, took a risk, saw the weather forecast was pretty much dry, and it's a faff putting the tarp up and down, so I didn't bother, just my hammock. But it slept pretty good, not that crazy wind from the night before, but still a bit of a cold breeze around. Breakfast, 2 bananas, sausage roll. That'll have to do me. In about 3 hours I should be in Ruthin, and then there's a Wetherspoon, so I can go and get a proper breakfast. So that's my goal. Going to ride around the coast and then back through the hills home to Llangollen. The old town within the old castle keep, and we're going to cycle around it. Car coming. It's 6:30 in the morning, early doors. Sun's up, forecast is good, temperature is cold, and then we go into the old castle. Now the town, past the castle, and then we got across the river, estuary. This was my way home when I did my tour of Wales last year, but this bit wasn't like this. This is new, so a new esplanade, shall we call it? I'm not entirely sure what an esplanade is, but it sounds good. Like new sea defences put in, new bike lane. I had to do a little detour around on the main roads last time, which wasn't nice, so this is definitely an improvement. some Wetherspoons, veggie breakfast, unlimited coffee, and I need it. Breakfast done. I would say hoovered up, hardly touched the sides. The 2 coffees were very welcome as well. And now, last stretch, 16k or so, 2 nicely climbs, Nant to Garth first, and then the horseshoe. Nearly home, bit of a traffic jam. It's alright, I'll wait a minute. Wait till the path gets a bit wider. Well, hope you enjoyed that one. Nice little trip. Like and subscribe if you did, and see you all soon from a very different location on today's ride. Out.